Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Long coming at you this week with your weekly update as we are in our debate unit. I do apologize, I know that I usually get these out a little bit sooner on Wednesday, and between the sicknesses that my kids and I have had and the computer problems I've had today, I apologize. Let me just say, I know where you guys are coming from sometimes when you hit snags too. I want to just first point out before we get into this week's unit that I have reorganized some materials in the material section and to show you where everything is so there's no confusion. I put all of the introductory stuff in one folder because there's still a few students coming in, but most of you don't need that. I also combined both tech resources and English resources, and this is where you can find your Turnitin and your how you work with PDFs and Macs and all of those types of resources. Kept the link for the optional work sections at the top, and then I took all of the content that we've already covered and put that in a previous folder, a separate folder, with the idea would be, I don't want you to have to like scroll down into center of the earth or anything to try to get to the current content. So I put Unit 7 here first, and then all the old content is still there. You're just going to have to find it in this folder instead. So don't want you to be confused. I know some of you are still finishing up Unit 6, so I want you to be aware where that is. So that said, I want to move on with Unit 7, second session of the 4-week session on debate. And I have to tell you that debate is something I've always loved. I've enjoyed teaching it in traditional schools, in brick and mortar schools where you're face-to-face. I've enjoyed doing mock trials and things like that. That's just been a part of my background that's been memorable to me. I remember in college I had a class called argumentation, and we basically spent the entire semester on one topic. First half of the semester we researched that one side of the topic, and then the second half the other side of the topic, the other side of the debate. My topic then was socialized medicine, and of course now you can't say socialized, that's bad. It's called universal health care now. But it was very helpful to work on both sides of the debate. We had to take the affirmative and then turn around and do the negative side. And it was useful as I was really thinking about which arguments are most powerful. And hopefully your background from Unit 6 in propaganda and persuasive techniques is helpful when you're thinking about what really is a good argument and what is just fluff to make somebody take a particular position. I also want to let you know that if you have not completed Unit 5, either because you joined the class late or this hasn't been your semester and that didn't happen, I am assigning to you some pieces from Unit 5 that overlap with this unit. So, for example, in Unit 5 you had to do some research, and in Unit 7 you had to do some research. You'll have to do some research. So I'm trying to increase my bird to stone ratio for you guys so that you can get caught up on some of the material that maybe you weren't here for and demonstrate that you have that proficiency without having to do a whole lot of extra work, especially for those of you that came in even in the last couple weeks. So if you get something that's assigned to you and it looks like it's not assigned to everybody else, that's why. And if you're confused, please send me an email, because I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm just trying to be efficient. So this week, you are moving on with The Argument Grows. In the first part of this, you'll see a recommended timeline, and this week is split with spring break. Yes, we are having spring break. I got that question from a student the other day. Do you have spring break at a virtual school? And yes, you do. Thank the Jeffco and CDE gods and everybody else. You do have spring break. It is a good opportunity for you guys to go ahead and catch up if you're behind, or get ahead if you want to knock out some of the debate stuff while you have that extra time. I will try to make the next session available on Friday before the break so that you can get ahead if you want to. But this session does cross spring break. We come back on, yes, April Fool's Day. My sons think that's kind of amusing to go back to school on April Fool's Day. Anyway, so that is a rough timeline of what you're going to be doing this week. I want to make you aware before we get any further that I have given you some options. Ideally, you would do debate as a face-to-face type of activity. I realize this is online school, and I realize that many of you chose online school because you have individual needs, scheduling issues, health issues, whatever. So I'm trying to find a balance between giving you authentic debate experience and working with your schedule. And in any case, you're all going to get a chance to look at some writing and do some writing and some presenting on a debate topic that will get you critically thinking critically. So know that you're going to be using some recording technologies, whether it's just voice recording or video recording, and know that you're going to be doing some writing regardless of which option you choose. But I am going to give you some options of working individually or collectively. So anyways, you move on from the argument grows to the next slide, the next screen, and you will find a PowerPoint on speech basics. And this is a chance for you to reflect on what you've done with public speaking in previous school experiences and think about what you're good at and what you need to improve on, whether it's pacing or enunciation, eye contact, body language, any of those types of things. Think about what you can improve on. So I've asked you to write a response, about 10 sentences, good solid paragraph, with emphasizing 5 skills or practices that you want to really make sure you hit in this unit. And if you're having any difficulties with this PowerPoint, by the way, you can always upload it on Google Docs. I'm pretty sure that that does effectively help you navigate the different formatting concerns. So once you've done your response paragraph, you'll upload that. And here, it will be due the Tuesday. You may want to put this off while you think about your topic, which is the thing that you really need to get started with. And I tried to prep you next week and just kind of getting some ideas. There are thousands of topics. There are some perennial favorites like marijuana and same-sex marriage. In your quiz, a lot of you mentioned that those were 2 topics that interested you. But there are tons. So make use of the resources here and picking something that you really, really, really value. If you started in Unit 5 and never actually completed the inquiry report, I would advise you to take a topic that is similar to what you've already got research for, because then you can move along and work with that topic. In any case, once you have a topic or once you have an idea of what you want to do, I want you to consider the format that you're working with. And I threw in some wonderful red pill, blue pill stuff from The Matrix, a wonderful movie series. If you haven't been familiar with it, go see it. You have two choices this unit. If you want to work as an individual on debate, you want to take your own issue, you're going to do the affirmative side, the negative side, you're going to record the speech and the writing for both of those, not touch anyone else's topic. This is your choice. You can do this. But I would encourage you to consider working with another student in the class, and I will do everything I can to help make that arrangement possible. Kind of a new experience for me. My mom has always told me I do things the hard way, and I guess I'm doing things the hard way here, but it's because I think I really want you to have a good experience collaborating with other students. So let's say, for example, same-sex marriage. A lot of you guys hit that topic in your quiz last week. You said you had an interest in that. Several of you are interested in legalization of marijuana. So if you want to choose another person to work with, you both of you research, you share notes, then one of you might take the affirmative side, one of you might take the negative side, and then as you record your responses, you will respond to each other. And it's a little bit more authentic. The most authentic is to do it in a real-time Collaborate session, Blackboard Collaborate session, and that would allow you to be thinking on your feet and getting the experience that is authentic debate. And because it takes a little bit more effort above and beyond, I will consider some extra credit for that, because I think that it is a very valuable learning activity to work with someone else and to use the technology to make it more real-time, even though you're in an online school. So please talk with me about what your proposals. I'm a little bit flexible, more fluid on this than other times. So communicate with me. I would love to see you guys take that option. In any case, I would like to know what you're planning to do, what your thoughts are, and how you're going to work with debate. And so I've created an assignment in a discussion board format. It's not a discussion board where you have to respond. You won't be docked points if you don't respond. But I made it a discussion board so that if you want to try to connect with another student, you have that option and the capability of doing that. So if you are going to work as an individual on this debate project, simply list the debate topic and the resolution that you're planning to work with, and note in there that you want to work as an individual. When I say the resolution, don't just tell me you want to look at alternative energy. You need a resolution. You need a statement that has a should idea in it, something we should do that is different from the status quo. So say you're planning to do stem cells, and you say the United States should fund embryonic stem cell research. That would be a resolution. This is what we should do. Not just stem cells, not just alternative energy. For alternative energy, what should we do? We should devote 20% of our GDP to researching alternative energy. Something like that, a statement of what you're going to do. And you may find as you start researching that this needs to change a little bit, and I'm open to that. Just give me a starting place. This is where you're at now. If you want to work with others and you have a topic that maybe someone else might want to do, nothing obscure like quarks or subatomic particle research, but something that's a little bit more common, list some of the things you're interested in and see if other people want to partner with you in researching that and debating that topic. What you might want to do is just let people know you're interested in working with other people. And it's my understanding you guys can communicate with each other via Schoology or via your Google addresses. If that's not the case, someone please let me know. I'm still kind of a rookie at some of the Schoology stuff. But you can work with each other and get in contact with each other. I'll help you if you have concerns or if that's not possible. And so then if you guys decide to work together, then let me know what your resolution is, your topic, and the names of the people that are working together. Again, I really encourage you to take this extra step, take that red pill, do the more challenging activity here, and I will honor that with some extra credit. If it turns out that you want to work with somebody else, but nobody else wants to work with you, take your toys and go home. No, just go back to the individual thing. Just say, okay, I couldn't find anyone else. I am going to work on this topic. This is my resolution. Trying something different, it may not work, and it may not be convenient. Your interest may not be other people's. That's just the way it is. In any case, I would highly encourage you to pick a topic before spring break. Let other people know what your availability is, both so you can connect with other people and so you can kind of get started thinking about this over spring break. You might find that you start seeing things in the news and once you have your debate topic picked, and it'll give you more time just to mentally settle into that. So here, go ahead and record your debate topic. I see that Kylie has already done that. That's awesome, Kylie. Good job. And once you got your topic, the next step is to research. If you did not do any of Unit 5, you will find, again, some of that is recycled here. You can use Jeffco databases, and I encourage you to use Jeffco databases in order to get some really credible information. And I'm going to ask you to give me a works cited page, basically the correct citation of 4 resources you're going to use. 2 of them really should come from a database, and the other 2 can be webs. You can certainly use more than 4 database or 4 sources, but you should have at least 4 on your topic. So get the research, check that it's credible, and then go on to the next step, which is working with that research. If you, I'd like to have your works cited page. Again, if you didn't do this in Unit 5, you came in late, this is your chance to show me that you have those skills. But your next step then is to look at that research, and maybe if you didn't do this in Unit 5, take some notes. This is an example of an assignment that's being given to some people, but not everybody, based on what you did in Unit 5. Take some notes, and I would encourage you to highlight it in different colors. Maybe use a yellow to represent information that validates the affirmative side of your resolution, and maybe use a green or orange to highlight information that validates the negative side. Back in the day, in the 90s, when I was taking my argumentation class, we used a variety of 3x5 cards. We would take one statistic on each 3x5 card. And you don't have to go that far, but you do need to have your research organized somehow. Ultimately, you are going to have 2 to 3 contentions or main reasons for each position. I think marijuana should be legalized in all 50 states for these 2 or 3 reasons, and those 2 or 3 reasons are your contentions. And then you're going to go find all the evidence that supports that. And then you'll do the same for the negative side. So be thinking about that as you're reading your research. What are my 3 main reasons for supporting this position? And what evidence do I have that supports those contentions? In session 3, we're going to be looking at a class wiki where you can get ideas from other people as well. And you can organize your ideas more thoroughly then. And that is basically it for the session. Please be in touch if there are questions or concerns. And have fun with this. Debate is a great topic, good chance for you to think clearly and develop some opinions. So be in touch. Have a great week. Spring break is in 3 days. Bye-bye.